I really love that it's June and the bluebells are still out. Down south we would lose them so much earlier in the year. Aren't they so pretty?
Lucky boy. I let him in. Yeah, it was a good shot.
Fuck's sake. I'm actually scared to do it again.
Well done.
Fuck's sake. Yes! Which of our current projects are you the most excited for?
The horse box is definitely a big one.
Horse bugs.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about the horse bugs.
The horse box is going to be a bar for our wedding.
We bought a horse box, and as Cam said, she's going to be a bar for our wedding. So we went to a family party a few years ago and they had a horse box bartended bar, which was a really cool idea, and it was the type of thing that we saw working for the space that we've got here and for the type of kind of low-key small outdoor wedding that we're going for. But we didn't want to hire one or to have bartenders here necessarily, so we decided that we would do one ourselves, with the vision for this to potentially become something bigger in the future. We would really like if after the wedding we could rent this out as a self-service bar, maybe something that people can hire at a slightly lower rate compared to normal like bars for hire, and then they can fill it with their own alcohol, so there's no markup on the alcohol, and ultimately for people like us having a wedding like we're having, it could be a really awesome option for them. So there's the option for this to become a business for us in the future, which makes it worth it for us to buy one and do it ourselves rather than renting one, even though buying it and doing it ourselves is actually going to be more expensive. So yeah, that's the theory behind the horse box. And ultimately, even if we decide not to make a business out of it in the future, we're actually going to be able to flip it and sell it on if that's what we choose to do with it. I have a feeling, though, that we will want to be keeping her. So I think the rental might be the way that we end up going. So this is project number 1. So I'm going to show you the horse box, and I'll pop a few of our inspiration photos on the screen while I'm doing this, so you can get a feel of our vision. So this is another jockey door. This opens, and the back opens out as well, which, as you can see in some of these photos, will become one of those sort of decking areas. There you go, you might be able to see a bit better now. There's a few features here that we really loved. So, like the wheel on the side, we love this. This is going to be where we put a sign or something like that. Yeah, it's she's pretty cool. The horse box is also the storage space for one of my other current projects, which is this. I am not only growing flowers for my wedding bouquet and for our wedding flowers and just to make the land have a good vibe, but I'm also trying to make some dried petal confetti with the flowers that I'm growing this year. So the horse box, being a dry, ventilated place, is the place I am using to dry the flower petals. So I basically every few days come out here and just turn them over. And there's only about 1 or 2 flowers that I'm drying the petals for at the moment, but throughout summer, as more flowers come into bloom, I'll be taking more petals and continuing to make more dried flower confetti. I've also got a couple of bunches of lavender and things like that drying. The vision, as I think I've mentioned before on this channel, is like a pick your own confetti bar, which I really like the sound of. Again, something that's all natural, something that fits the vibe of the land, something that feels very us. And hopefully, because we're not having too many guests, we won't need that much confetti. Next year, when I show you like my abysmally empty confetti bar, I'll insert that clip back in. Keep myself humble. I don't know, I think, how much confetti does one person need? Is like 1 handful of confetti enough for one person, or do you need multiple confetti handfuls? I've not been to enough weddings to answer these questions, but it's really fun. I like handmade touches, and I like starting them this far in advance. So I've got time to make mistakes and do things again. I thrive on planning. I actually really enjoy planning. So yeah, this is, I don't know, it's entertaining for me. These are coming along really well. So I don't think they'll keep their colour that well until next year. Maybe if I put them in a dark shoebox or something, it'd give them a good chance. But obviously next year they could be topped up with flowers that bloom early next year. So, I don't know. Project 2, confetti. My next project, champagne. So we went out the other day and picked a load of elderflower because it's just coming open at the moment. And I'm currently making up our first batch, which is kind of a test batch of elderflower champagne. I found somewhere in Inverness which does loads of homebrew equipment. So it actually wasn't too hard to find like the sparkling wine yeast and things like that that I needed. Ultimately, because we don't have a fixed address, because we live in a van and we travel full time, we struggle sometimes to get hold of like niche things. So when I found a shop in Inverness, I was absolutely blown away with the range they have. Just in case anyone ends up in this niche situation in this niche part of the world, I'll put the name of the shop up on the screen. But yeah, it was so cool. So I'm gonna make 4 of these bottles of elderflower champagne. These are the bottles which kind of pop open, which I believe are meant to be slightly safer to use to make things like this, because when the pressure builds up in the bottle, it can pop rather than explode. They feel quite stiff though, so I don't know how much I trust that, but oh my gosh. I'm actually really worried about them exploding. Cam bought me some safety goggles from Screwfix, just to make sure I don't blind myself in this process. But here, the vision is that if we can try it out this year and it works, there's still enough time between elderflower coming out and the wedding next year to actually make some elderflower champagne then. So yeah, batch 1, elderflower champagne. Project number 3. Are you so handsome?